I am 83 years old now, an old woman who has lived a long, ordinary, beautiful, and sometimes very quiet life. Growing old itself doesn't frighten me anymore. I have watched my hair turn silver, my hands grow thin, my steps grow slower. What unsettles me is how quiet the mornings have become. I sit on the edge of my bed longer than I used to, not because my body cannot move, but because my memories wake up before I do. Silence lives with me now, like an old friend who never leaves. It follows me from room to room, while I make tea, while I fold blankets, while I sit by the window. At this age, silence is not empty at all. It has weight, the kind only a woman who has lived many years can feel. It's settled gently on my shoulders and reminds me of everything that once filled this home with life. I thought answers would come softly, like evening light. Instead, it brought remembering and the quiet realization that so much of life only makes sense when it is already too late to change it. When I was a younger woman, I believed old age would bring wisdom. Time does not slow down for an old woman. If anything, it moves faster. That is the cruel part. I can see how little road is left ahead of me now, and still the days keep passing as if nothing at all has changed. I don't count years anymore. Years stopped feeling meaningful a long time ago. Now I count losses, the quiet kind, friends whose laughter still lives inside my memory, even though I know I will never hear their voices again. When I was a young girl, life felt endless, time felt generous, like a wide open sky. I never imagined there would come a day when I would measure my life not by what was coming, but by what had already gone. In my 20s, I was a serious young woman. I thought responsibility meant maturity. I believed if I did everything properly, carefully, faithfully, life would reward me with peace. I worked hard. I cared for people. I showed up every single day. I was not reckless. I was not selfish. And like many women of my time, I believed that would be enough. 9, I trusted later, the way a careful woman trusts a locked door. Later felt responsible. Later felt sensible. Later felt safe. I never imagined that later could quietly disappear. By my 30s and 40s, life became full very quickly. Work, family, responsibilities, they filled every quiet space I allowed them to take. No one forced me. I simply kept saying yes, the way women often do. I told myself I was building stability, a safe life, a secure home, something strong for my family, and I was building something. I just didn't notice what it was slowly taking from me. Dinners became shorter, voices became softer, not because we stopped loving each other, but because we were tired, and tiredness, especially in a woman who carries everything, is quieter than conflict. My marriage did not break. There was no betrayal, no storm, no shouting, just a slow quiet settling in, like dust in sunlight. where warmth used to live. We sat beside each other most evenings, shared the same room, the same air, the same life, but sitting beside someone is not the same as feeling held. I said I would call next week. I said I would make time soon, and I believed myself. That is what still surprises me. I truly believed there would always be more time, waiting patiently for me. The turning point did not come with noise. It came quietly, like so many things in a woman's life. A phone call, a pause, and suddenly someone I loved was no longer reachable. I remember standing in my kitchen afterward, my hands resting on the counter, not moving, thinking about all the ordinary conversations, simple little things we never finished. Grief does not always arrive as tears. Sometimes it arrives as counting memories, counting empty spaces, counting what remains and what never will again. After that, everything became clearer, but clarity does not soften what has hardened inside the heart. A woman can understand everything and still be unable to undo anything. Retirement did not feel like rest. It felt like standing in open air with nothing left to hide behind, without responsibilities, without noise. I could finally hear my own heart, and not everything it said was gentle. Old age removes distractions. That is its strange gift, and its quiet punishment. There is nowhere left to hide from memory. You sit with it, and it sits with you. Loneliness at this age is not about being alone. It is about remembering what togetherness felt like. It is about hearing echoes of laughter that once lived inside these walls. I am grateful, deeply grateful. I loved, I nurtured, I gave, I received, but gratitude and regret, a woman learns, can live in the same heart. Life rarely breaks loudly. It softens, fades, erodes, like fabric worn thin with time, until one day you realize how much has quietly changed. If I could speak to my younger self, I would not scold her. I would simply take her hands, gently, and tell her, later is not a promise, it is a gamble. The conversations you delay, the love you postpone, the presence you promise someday, those things do not wait. They fade, softly, without asking. I have made peace with most of it now. Acceptance is not happiness. It is a quiet honesty, the kind many women learn only very late in life. This is my life, all of it. The careful choices, the postponed words, the love I carried inside me, even when I did not always feel it in time. I am not afraid of dying. What once frightened me was remembering everything with nothing left to change. But even that fear has grown quiet. Growing old is not the frightening part. Remembering is. But if my remembering stays with you, even gently, even briefly, then perhaps a small part of me remains.